Because in the future, if you want to give a good meal to the growing population, we need to preserve the seed. If you see the challenges, just now we have noticed that 1 hectare is going to feed for 5 people in the coming days. Earlier it was for 2 people, and the land is shrinking. We are seeing the urbanization. There is no water to produce. Breeders are putting their great efforts to deliver the drought resistance and BT and trades. So much of work is undergoing the back of us. And once we take all their efforts and once we produce the seed, it is really challenge to maintain the quality and to store the seed. We are very fortunate to see this kind of service only in India. I've been touring the entire APAC. I've been struggling to get the similar type of service in the Asian countries. And there the challenges are very high to store because it's a high humid climate, and even the production challenges is also very high, but we don't have the people like Gubba who can help the industry to store. Dear friends, I met this Gubba Kiran, I think 7 years back, when I came on a project to India, started the infrastructure development for Syngenta. They gave me a lot of capital to start the cold storage. But in the industry, I just heard that there is a company which is storing the seed, where you have nothing to worry. You just hand out the seed and they will take care of your material. I spent just 1 month on the survey, and one fine day Gubba Kiran came to my office. I just told him that, Kiran, I am looking for an infrastructure which can meet my XYZ standards. Prashant and Kiran, they just took 5 minutes and told me, just give me 4 months time. We are here to create and meet your expectations. You don't have to worry and you don't have to invest. To that extent, I have reduced my capital in the project. And simultaneously, I was focusing on the setting of the fields and the best infrastructure, and Gubba started putting their best efforts parallelly to develop the cold storage. It's very fortunate that we could able to complete on time, and from the day zero itself, we could able to store our produce very effectively, efficiently in their premises. The technology, what they are giving for us, we can just sit, as Ravi mentioned, that we can just sit in our office and see how much quantity is there, what has been shifted, and what is still lying in the warehouse. For my auditors, it is one mouth click that they could get the entire data, hybrid wise, location wise, bin wise. It's a great efforts. And if you see the cost, I am sure that if we invest on the same cost, we need to sell it more. And the service, what I like from Gubba, any seed industry, like of course multinationals and big nationals can invest on this infrastructure, but here in India, they made it available for even a small company. I was surprised to know that Gubba is having 200 seed people storing their seed. That means everybody can afford to store and maintain its quality with the service of Gubba. This is the only service available in country like India. I think it's a great service for the industry, and it's a great service for entire farming, because all the farmers are benefited by this high quality seed delivered into their fields. Yes, let's go to the topic. I think we might have noticed that Ravi has already covered a bit on the factors affecting the storability. I would like to take only 1 or 2 minutes to share that actually why do we need to preserve the seeds. We all know that it's the branding. Unfortunately or fortunately, the first impact which the farmer can notice only with the seed. If the seed is not germinated, all his pleasure of continuing the efforts for the next season is gone. And he'll start blaming the brand. I think many of the colleagues are there, even from the chemistry, who is having example. If you spray a chemical, if it doesn't work, also farmers cannot notice immediately. They always think of long-term benefits on the chemical, but if it is a seed, it is immediately you see the impact on the vigor and the germination. Of course, the field quality, the genetic purity, we maintain in the fields, but the physical purity is being maintained in this particular cold storage. Under the varied climate conditions, under the temperature management, when we are happily, taking rest at the home, the climate control people, they'll be working in the nights in maintaining the required temperature to maintain its vigor and also the required temperature and the required humidity. If these factors are not maintained, definitely we'll see a declination in the vigor and the germination. We conducted several studies in Gubba. I think we have conducted the shelf life studies. It has proved that their storage ability is excellent. We have conducted on several hybrids, and we found all the hybrids are very safe to store in their premises. So after putting all the efforts and producing the single cross corn, which is very risky to produce, and we can maintain its quality by just keeping in these premises, and very happily we can take out whenever a processing or a market demand is there. So I personally thank Gubba for successfully taking. I think he is the first guy who has started an exclusive cold storage for Syngenta, and then other industry has started. Thanks, Kiran, for extending that great support, and also thank you for selecting this profession of serving the farming community by storing the product very safely and maintaining its quality, which is going to feed and give food for the millions of Indians and also the rest of the other countries. Thank you for giving this opportunity, and also I congratulate and wish them a great success to celebrate in the same manner the Golden Jubilees also in Gubba. Thank you.
May I please call upon Mr. Satish J. Patil to share his views on the same, please.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank Kiran for having invited me and having given this opportunity to share my thoughts on this forum. Before I begin talking about the topic, I would also like to congratulate the Gubba family for the phenomenal progress which you have achieved. No need to see the video, it's there out to see. I think it's very professional what I see, and it's very, very impressive. So hats off to all of you. The previous speakers have said a lot of good things about the professional approach and the way you take care of our babies, our seeds. I don't need to add any more stuff. I share the same feelings that you guys are handling our stuff in a very responsible way, very careful way. Thank you very much for this support to us and ultimately to the farmer. The topic today is preserving the life called seed. And to be able to talk on such kind of a topic, you need to be a seed technologist, which I am not. So I'm expanding the scope a little bit, and I'm going to talk about preserving the life of a seed company. Because I'm a businessman, I'm a CEO of a seed company, and I'm not a seed technologist. So I'll talk about preserving the life of a seed company, which could be of relevance to many people who are sitting here. Of course, there's no intention to teach you how to do your business because you are better in your business. But there are certain thoughts of mine which I would like to share today. We all are doing our business very well. It is sustaining, growing. Is this guaranteed? That's the question. And there's one topic which can really affect the sustainability of the company is our performance on sustainability. can we sustain? And that's the topic I'm going to talk about. And there are 3 steps in which I'll talk my thoughts. Number 1, what I understand or what I call as sustainability. There are various definitions. Number 2, why is it so important? Why we should be talking about it now? And third, if we want to do something about it, how do we begin, if assuming we're not doing much, but everybody is doing something or the other. Now, again, talking about sustainability, I'm not a sustainability expert, but I have some understanding of the topic which I'm sharing. What is sustainability? There are a number of definitions of sustainability if you Google it. One definition which I like the most is, how do we fulfill our needs without sacrificing the future generations' possibility to fulfill their needs? Is a simple definition of sustainability. So everything that we do, we draw on the natural resources, we draw from the nature what God has given us. While we do it in a responsible way that the future generation is also able to fulfill their needs. That's all sustainability. This definition I like very much. So now when we say we want to be sustainable in business, what it means simple terms is ensuring our continuous existence in business while growing. Now the question is, who keeps us in business? If I ask this question, the most common answer I get is, the customer keeps me in business, right? But I think that is a bit outdated definition now, these days. I can give you examples. There are companies who had to shut down despite of having very satisfied customers. There are other stakeholders that can really shoot you down. There are environmentalists. If you don't get a seed license in one state for selling your seeds, for that month or for that year, you're finished. Your business is over. So government is also a stakeholder who can allow you to work. Employees, if they go on strike, your business is stopped for that day. Shareholders, if they remove you, you're out. Your business is over. If they shift their investment to other business, your business is finished. So who keeps us in our business is not only the customers, but the set of stakeholders. And there are various stakeholders in our business. Customer is just one. Employees, government, society in general, media, even the environment is the stakeholder. Now, hence, to sustain, we need to make sure we have the license to operate. Means, we are creating value for each and every stakeholders of the company. And today, if you see, the most focus of the companies is creating value for the shareholders. And we are too much focused on ensuring our profits, our returns on investments, and everything centers around that. But, the shareholders, their needs are also changing. There is something called US Forum of Sustainable and Responsible Investment. They have done a study, and that they have been tracking the investment made by the investing community globally from 1995 till now, and how this investment has been shifting in the stock markets from the companies which are less sustainable to companies which are better sustainable. Into 1995, $600 billion worth of business has shifted from non-sustainable to sustainable companies, and this number by now has reached to staggering 3,700 billion US dollar investment has shifted from non-sustainable companies to sustainable companies. So even shareholders and stakeholders are changing in their expectations. They are not only looking at your balance sheet. We have many seed companies who are aspiring to go into the public market and raise an IPO, and people who would like to have an infusion of share capital in the companies. I would like to share that global investors, global investing communities these days have very strict investment norms. And there are some 10 points charters. I don't want to go into the details, but if your company doesn't fall in any of those 10 conditions, you're not the candidate for them to invest. And just to give an example, child labor is just one of the 10. Fair labor, how are you treating your labor, is another. Like that, how are you sustainable? What kind of vendors you have? If Gubba is sustainable, Gubba is my supplier. Gubba sustainability score falls, I am unable to work with Gubba. So for everybody, sustainability is a very important topic. Now, enough about sustainability. I have made enough points about this. Question is it a Western developed world topics? Do we have bigger topics like food and water, and therefore is it like a topic for 2020 or 2050 for us? Is it that far? I have to ask you a question. Probably all of you go to a gym, if not to a gym, at least for a walk or do something. Why? Is your health bad today? It's not bad. It's all right. But you never know what is awaiting 10, 20 years down the line. So you cannot start doing anything at that time because it's too late. So you are creating your sustainability by investing today in your gym so that you sustain. So we don't have to wait till this sustainability issues start affecting us very badly, because by the time it's too late. Once media gets into the picture, everything gets into it, it's very, very difficult. So typically how it works is there is a cycle. In every developing part of the world, how it has followed is, first they follow completely unsustainable way of doing business, then follows the consequences. Obviously the consequences are seen, there are pollutions around, there are different issues around, and then there are NGOs that typically the first ones to get into it are the NGOs. Once they start making the noise, media find very hot masala to write. Once NGOs come, media follow. Once media follows, the public pressure builds up. And when public pressure builds up, who is sitting in public? You are a public, I am a public, our children are public, government babus are public. Everybody is sitting in the public, your shareholders are also public. And once the opinions start building into this community, life starts becoming too hot to handle, and at that time it's too late to act. That's why we need to act early. Another misconception which I have found among my private talks with many, that sustainability is more of a risk for the multinational companies in India, and generally we can get away. I will give you two examples. Indian businessman, billionaire Anil Agarwal, having billions of dollars, wanted to start a bauxite mining company called Vedanta. Permission was denied by government. Why? Every formality was completed. The public pressure from the tribals became so high for the government to give him the permission to operate. He had no license to operate, he had to stop. Tata's acquired 997 acres of land in Singur in West Bengal. 28 months down the line, having invested 1,500 crores of rupees into this, they had to wind up and come out. Are they multinationals? They are Indian companies. So it's not, it's so much right to believe that this is a topic only multinationals worry